And good evening, y'all. Uh, Welcome back to another episode of Today's Weather Tonight. Here, as always, I'm your meteorologist for the evening, Cloud Hudson, and I'm bringing you tonight's top vibe stories. That's kind of what this whole Rearcast weather looking in the rear view kind of concept is. I'm trying to do something where I do just like a vibe check of the whole world right now. I think there's a different vibe every day, and it reflects what is going on internally with all of us individually, but also as a collective. So it's good to get a little vibe check every day. By that, I mean observe the weather. What are the vibrations doing? So let's start by looking at the vibrations in the ground. I'm actually going to start with earthquakes today and then go to volcanoes. A little bit of a shake up there. Okay, so let me make this big. There we go. Okay, so here's the Earth chilling. Very interesting how this 4.8 was exactly on the shell boundary as of the 4.4 right there. That's quite interesting. I wonder what calculations go into how large they program these shells to be. 4.8 at 10 kilometers depth. No shocker there. 4.4 at 10 kilometers depth. Oh, sorry, my computer's rendering. Has a little trouble with this program sometimes. 4.7 was just below that, probably looking almost simultaneous with that 4.8 up there. So yeah, the 4.7 was at 106 kilometers depth at 11:40 p.m. But the 4.8 was at 10:07 p.m. and like 10 kilometers. So first we had this 4.4 in the Philippines. Then we had this one here pretty close to where Mount Ruang is, in the general area of Indonesia where Mount Ruang is erupting. And then about an hour and 40 minutes later, we had this one off the southeast coast of Taiwan. Also, we got a 4.5 in western China. That would be a 4.5 at 10 kilometers depth around 3:17 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time today. Then we had a 4.6, another 4.6 out here, just like at the point of the Horn of Africa in the African, Indo-Australian and African plate boundaries. Can you see the, that is how many? We've had several in this area this week. I'll just leave it on this week for a second and then go back to today because that's quite a few. And then there were a couple off the coast of Eritrea this week too. And you see some more overlaps of earlier in the week and more recently. Oh no, these are back to, yeah, this is back to today. Today we had two 4.5s here in southern Iran. And when we go back to the week, you can see that it's very interesting to see all the overlapping center points and spread points, but you can scale it however you want. So I wonder what that means. I really am curious about what the scaling means. But if we go back to here today, we've just got these ones. Oh, I didn't finish doing the Western Pacific before we went into the Asian plate. We had More in Indonesia, 4.2 at 254 kilometers depth. That's a pretty deep one. 5.0. Let's see. Oh gosh, let's just keep showing me all of them. 4.9 here, right near that 4.7. And then we also had another kind of in order series of quakes here around the wave-shaped plate boundary, but 5.1 at 10 was the first one. 5.1 over here at 0 kilometers depth was at 5:52. That was the one out, I guess Fiji Islands is where it technically is. Yeah, the very deep one was in the one in the Comedic Islands. This one right here. That sticks out a lot. Then we had some mildly deep ones, intermediate, but getting up to a 5.9 here north of, or is that in? No, right in Papua New Guinea. And in between that 5.9 and 4.8, and a 5.0, that 4.8. Okay. All right. Oh, we have a 4.8 here in what country is this? I can't tell where that's centered. Okay. Oh, this is in Tanzania. Hey, remember how I keep talking about when you get a lot of water somewhere, it might be really heavy? We don't have the beach ball on this one yet, but this is right in the center of Lake Tanganyika. That is where Tanzania, Congo, Burundi, and yeah, no, that's the border between Congo, Burundi, and Tanzania. Oh, and I'm sorry, Zambia also touches that. Wow, one lake, 4 countries. And this earthquake was just inside the Tanzania part of that lake. Oh, sorry, I left you guys on. I was doing research onto where this 4.8 is originating. And that was today at 4:27 a.m. Eastern New York time. Interesting that this big old body of water registered as having a quake 10 kilometers depth, right as they are having just tremendous flooding in both Tanzania and Kenya. There's been really outsized precipitation numbers both in lack and abundance this week in news. We had a 4.3 here in Croatia again. We have, what else is on the Atlantic? Oh, here. Okay. Oh, we got a 4.3 at the North Pole. That's 131 kilometers down too. That's deep in the North Pole. I wonder if it had anything to do with, oh wait, that's an old one, isn't it? No, go back to today. Go to today. Yes, we did have one there today. A 4.3 at the North Pole. I wonder if that had anything to do with the geomagnetic storm we are undergoing right now. I wonder if that puts any energy into disrupting the plates magnetically. Not that I'm saying that they're magnetic, but what if they're piezoelectric? We had a stack of fives. We've got 4 different fives, all ranging 5.0, 1, 2, and 4. These are at all different depths. So let's see. I think the most recent one was the okay. Very hard to see right now. Okay. Okay. So these look to be decreasing in intensity because the oldest one was 430. Okay, this is an area that's been going for a while. Okay, that is just very hard to click on. This is the South Sandwich Islands. They're all around 40 to 10 kilometers deep. Really interesting cluster of strong quakes. They're all in the same place. That's like on the border between the South American continent and tectonic plate and the Antarctic plate. Got 5.1 and 4.3 in South America. That is rather unremarkable for this area as we make our way into. Okay, the 4.3 is actually kind of deep. The 5.1 was actually shallow. That was a 5.1 at 10 kilometers up in Peru. People probably felt that. The other deep one was in Chile. Let's see. Okay, gosh. Every time I go to a different application, you're going to want to crap your pants, huh? Okay. We've got movement in the Caribbean that is not just isolated to Puerto Rico, but also here. Is this Colombia? Yes, it is Colombia. Haha. I'm starting to learn geography. And 4.0 near Jamaica, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Jamaica and Colombia got in on the earthquakes today. That's exciting. Wonder what's up there. We've got, of course, clusters of like just around the whole perimeter of the island, basically. Earthquakes all around. That's just the state of it now. Got a lot more quakes in the central United States than usual. Like, see how many compared to, like, I think this is probably assuming what I'm wanting because, yeah, there we go. Let's go to like twos. Look at how the central United States looks like as poppin' as California does. That's weird. That's nuts. They did have some strong ones with 4.0. We had a recent 1.1. That was the most recent quake then in, but the 4.1 came in at 4 kilometers depth, and that was in Corona, California. What's there, I wonder? It was along Black Star Creek in Silverado Canyon area. Southeast of or east of Anaheim, between a gypsum canyon and a limestone canyon. So, if that tells you the kind of rocks they're working with here, what kind of energy would be needed to shake that type of rock? Bet that's what it is. Okay, this is in the Santa Ana Mountains. All right. See, when I go to places on the map that I've never been before, let me just show you guys what I'm talking about. Oh. I gotta put it in the right window. Yeah, this is what I'm looking at. Right near Anaheim, we're, I guess, and Orange, Santa Ana. We're in the Santa Ana Mountains. This is the little shock zone. This is just due south of this place. It is, okay, southeast of LA. So we've got, I bet they could have felt it at any of this Chino Hills or Corona, at the Corona Municipal Airport. I would always wear a mask there. That's stupid. Okay. Let's go back to our earthquakes. Yeah, look at all these earthquakes in the middle of the country. The so-called country. They're flanking Texas. We've got you surrounded, Texas. That whole beach is being washed up again. 2.8, 2.4, and 3.4, and a lot over here. This guy over here, these 2.5 and 2.6s, that is in the part of Texas that regularly gets as many quakes as any random part of California might. This is it, however, is in the Panhandle area. Might be near Wichita Falls, Big Lake, Texas. Yep, that is. That's the wrong one. Big Lake, Texas is way center. Maybe I'm looking at. Oh, I am looking at these. I got parallax vision on these centers. Yeah. These are into Central Texas and also Eastern Texas. I think this 3.2 and 3.1 are right between Dallas and Fort Worth, right south of them in Lillian, Texas. Dallas, Fort Worth subdivision or suburb, whatever. I wonder which part of this is where that golf tournament is. They've gotten a lot of water for a golf tournament. Okay. But yeah, all of these getting up into lots of quakes in Texas. Now, of course, there are a ton in California, but let's zero in on, we had this 4.1 here and 3.8 here. Now let's watch everything near this 4.1 area, near this one, as we fill in the lower magnitudes. When we get into like the 1 to 2 range, there's a lot of little potential aftershocks. So everyone in LA probably felt some kind of something. Let's go to, whoa, look at this big stack out here. We're getting multiple fives and fours, all on the inflection point of the Aleutian Island chain. Think these are going to be centered at Nikolsky, Alaska. It is also near Unalaska, or Unalaska. I like to think of it because it's not. The Aleutians West Alaska Maritime National Wildlife Refuge. Okay. This is happening right where the chain looks like it's breaking off and you stop seeing so many straight islands. Man, I think there's like a little micro ridge out there that we just haven't, through poor bathymetry, we haven't been able to find a good way to map that ridge yet. But I have a feeling there's a ridge between this point in Alaska and Hawaii. Like right that way. That would make kind of a triangle out here of undersea mounts. Yeah, wow, that is a lot of energy put into one little place in Alaska. I wonder if there's any potential island level raise going on. 4.4 out here at 67 kilometers depth, and then we're back to where we started. This 4.4 is Kurilsk, Russia, which is also kind of on that same chain of islands if you think about it. If you squint real hard at it, a little bit feels like it's in the same chain of islands as the Aleutian Islands. They look like they're from the same pin. This is also the same plate is subducting under each one of these curves of the Mariana Trench, this like Japan to Kurilsk island chain, and then the Aleutian Island chain. All of that has the Pacific plate subducting under it going that way, like from Hawaii to, like the plate is moving Hawaii closer to, it's subducting under the Eurasian and Arctic plates. North American plates, excuse me. Okay. Let's go now to look at our volcanoes. All right. Let's take a look at, and I do have a radar up in the background for y'all. Or down in the, alrighty. Close Earthquake 3D so my computer can take a little break. Got a lot of web pages open. Alrighty then. Here's a satellite image of Reventador. Mount Abeco on Paramushir Island is erupting. We've got Lewatobi with a ground report of an eruption. Samiru in East Java continues to explode. Ash plume is rising up to like 4,300 meters altitude, or flight level 140, and moving in the northeast direction. Popo Catapetl in central Mexico continues its explosive activity, with ash rising up to flight level 200. And there's a new volcanic ash emission from Reventador, which is why we've got this little graphic of it. I wonder what the clouds there tell us about that. Anyway, let's see. Did we already go over this? Oh, the new lava dome started to grow on the southwest of the flank of the volcano. Where is this? That is really pretty. Um, oh yes, Shivaluk. Um, Following the elevated seismic activity, a new lava dome is beginning to grow on April 26th. Visuals and satellite observations confirmed a new dome growth located on the southwestern flank of the volcano. This phenomenon is visible in the attached SAR synthetic aperture visualization from Sentinel-1. Lava dome appears smooth with a curved outer surface, resembling previous lava domes at the volcano. Viscous gas poor magma has been accumulating within the dome. The extrusive eruption has been accompanied by the powerful gas steam eruption, generating 2-kilometer gas and steam-laden eruption plume above the Charon dome. This is the SAR image of that eruption there. So that is the one here, right here. Look on this. We got okay, this is where Mount Abeco is also. Oh, Paramushir Island, that's like where that earthquake was today. Image of Nevado del Ruiz looks pretty fierce. Not gonna get a explosive activity continues with volcanic ash plume up to 1600 or 16 flight level 160. Pretty much. Okay, Santiago Guito had a new volcanic ash emission, and the rest of these continued volcanic ash emissions. Fuego has frequent volcanic ash emissions. New volcanic ash emissions at Nevado and Sangay. Sabancaya has intermittent emissions. All right, wow. That is quite the news day for volcanoes. Let's go now to check on our atmosphere. So here, for what feels like the 6th day in a row, we've got some severe weather in the center of the country. We've got power outages in Marshall County and Bosque County, as well as Liberty County and San Jacinto County. And we've got some pretty gnarly little dry line storms popping up here. Again, in the same areas that we saw lots of rain last night. So thankfully, most of Kansas, Nebraska seem to be in the clear. But again, near the Texas-Oklahoma border, starting in Crowell, going through Vernon and Chillicothe, and up into Altus, Snyder, and really we're headed from Lubbock to Lawton. From Lubbock to Lawton is this little line of storms that we've seen this area hit pretty hard a couple days in a row. Then also out here, when we get into Oklahoma City, we are looking at just east of Oklahoma City, more severe thunderstorms with hail up to 2 inches, 60-mile-per-hour wind warnings. That is a gnarly storm, and it's got, even on the Mosaic radar, it's showing some up to in the 60 dBz readings. And then blowing through Tulsa and Broken Arrow, once again, a big old thunderstorm. Big supercells, and just some isolated cells of thunder, um, all over here. Isolated cells, also known as clouds. Um, the clouds over here are also doing their thing. There's some power outages here in Metropolis, Illinois. Um, this is really close to Mound City, and Cairo. I wonder why there's so many. Oh, well, there's only 645 customers out of 1,000 something. So maybe it's a small enough county that it's registering as a pretty high ratio of power outages compared to our Texas counties and Oklahoma counties that are out of power. But this area is also a very tectonically active area. And it is getting some decent rain. Chicago also getting some decent rain and currently under a severe thunderstorm warning. Chicago and Chicago Heights under a special weather statement that indicate radar indicate wind gusts from 50 to 55 miles per hour, minor hail damage possible. So, let's see. We're taking a look at, again, some of the same areas over and over again getting hit. Let's take a look at a local radar so we can get better definition here. Oh, wow. Yeah, they're just kind of headed straight down I-44. Now that I look at it up close, it's like that outflow northeast of Oklahoma City. It's also air-wise the outflow there. Just downtown Tulsa and Broken Arrow are getting beat down. That looks not fun. Thankfully, it doesn't look like there's a lot of rotation on these. Well, yeah. There's certainly something sparking up here in Sparks, but oh yeah, oh man, look at that. You see how it looks like it's going in the horizontal direction. Sometimes the clouds rotate in an axis that's parallel to the ground. Rotating in an axis that's perpendicular to the ground is a tornado. But sometimes the you can see it better on reflectivity. Sometimes these cells look like twirly Cheetos that are spinning, or a double helix of DNA made out of Cheetos. But you can kind of see how this looks like maybe a spring rotating. This is a shape of a cross, which I don't like. Shape of a cross gives a lot of good right angles to start rotation off of. Maybe you can see it better on velocity. Weird. Over here in Vernon, though, headed towards Frederick again, we've got another nasty little storm. You can see clearly how you've got both green and red, but that doesn't mean it's rotation here because you can see the uh, outflow boundary of the storm fully pushing everything out of the way, and 1% of it is headed towards the radar station, 1% of it is headed away from it, and that's like you can see that. But look at this here. That's not necessarily, that is a nasty little booger coming through that they've got 3 active warnings for right now. Let's go to yeah, look at that. That is all that air coming down out of the storm in its wake. And now when these interact with other storms, that can spark tornadoes too, but really this is does nothing on its own without interacting with something else that might get lifted up by its big mass rolling through. But do you see it turning and scooping that under? It's almost like a crashing wave. Yeah. So that's what's headed towards Frederick again. Again, Frederick, Hollister, Granfield, Burke Burnett. Which Burke Burnett to me sounds like a fake cuss word you would say if you didn't like cursing. Oh, Burke Burnett, not again, or something like that. All right, let's move on. I am getting distracted by these storms. We need to go back to checking out. We haven't even gotten to talking about our uh geomagnetic storms, and that's what I'm going to blame my lethargy on. Distractibility. Whoa, holy guacamole. Look at the size of those power bursts. It's like the Schumann resonances just really know when we're on. When we're on, you know? And again, this is a beautiful clip of the voice of the universe speaking into the earth. Man, look at all that power. We are going through it, ladies and gentlemen. Gadies and gentlethems. That is, let's look at our frequencies. Oh, okay. So we started pretty high. This power burst really brought us down, but in frequency, but you can hold more energy at easier at a lower state. Sometimes and not in all metaphors, but in frequency. This is converting into some denser forms. And then as we go into the wake of that energy burst from like 8 to 0 UTC here, peaking with that big whiteout where the frequencies dip, we start ticking back up. And, most of these frequencies are back up high as they were earlier. Almost. They're getting there. But wow, we are still recovering in our frequencies from that big power download. Let's look at the amplitudes, how much power came in. Whoa. Okay, so you can see this is where those frequencies dip down. This is where we started to click back up again. This time the most energy came in for the initial burst around mode 4. So it came in a really high frequency. I think we needed to drop down into those lower frequencies to really get it. But these are, again, scaled for what the level can handle. So, but we're going all the way up to 56 for mode 1. So this is quite a bit of energy. Um, let's take a look at our solar weather going along with this because whoa, is there ever a lot of solar weather here today? Um, we are okay. I'm sitting pretty far back in this today, but I'm okay. So we got an actual X class flare today. Um, and it was in the last 2 hours. Wouldn't you know it? Um, just now. How long have I been streaming? Streaming for 40 minutes. I came downstairs to start streaming at like 10 ish, a little before 10. I'd say like 2 hours ago. So, really, when I decided to start streaming this, we got a big X flare. So that's flattering. Um, take a look at this. We had started the day with one M flare, kind of middled around in still in C class territory, but really went up when we got to M2.77. Then right after that, another M2.77. And then it's like we put those two together. They happened in sync. It's kind of like they were resonant. And finally their frequency domain overlapped enough that they you know, they came together. We got an X 1.69, baby, right at 220 UTC, and it's currently like 310 UTC. So 220, that was at how do I do this non-UTC? Okay. Uh, it's currently 310 or 320. Then this was 50 minutes ago. Oh, damn. Okay. So this okay. So that means that this X class flare probably happened around when I loaded this chart. Um, let's go to Astro Clock. You see. Yeah, it was we were in a Jupiter day and a Jupiter hour at the time of this X class flare, and it headed towards Earth, the Earth sign where Jupiter currently is. Um, wow, beautiful. We're currently undergoing a type 4 radio emission. That's like a radio blacking out situation. Um, type 2 radio emission at and yeah, both. And a disturbance storm time index predicts moderate storm conditions right now at negative 82 nanotesla. And if we're looking at negative 82 nanotesla, that means look at that. That's where we've been today. We have been under a strong geomagnetic storm today. Let's take a look at our KP today. Our KP index today was up to 7. We got up to 7, a KP index of 7 today. That was a lot. That's a lot. That's a moderate storm. Um, the solar wind speed is also currently high, which means that anywhere that might be getting aurora right now probably have a great chance of seeing them. Now the interplanetary magnetic field at the moment is in the northward component, but we have spent considerable time in the southern component today. So I would think that yeah, look at that. We had really low. Actually, if this was about Yeah, in the middle of the day today, we had plenty of chance to see aurora today, so I expect to see a lot of aurora active. And actually, let's see if I've got a webcam that can go to earlier in the day. Ooh, do we have Antarctica aurora cam? No, this isn't live. I want to see live. Yeah, of the sky. But no, give me a streaming one. Man, don't just tell me they have cameras. That's dumb. Okay. Let's see. Is Canada getting anybody? Our Manitoba one has done pretty well in the past. Still too bright in Manitoba to tell, but I would say it's probably likely. I wonder if anything in Europe had. Wait, do we have Europe? Let's see if Iceland had any. Can I go back? Can't jump around in that one. What about this one? Are there going to be any that are nice and YouTubey that I can rewind? No. If I could look at some of these. Oh, yeah, YouTube. Not going on. What's wrong? Come on, y'all. We gotta have something I can rewind. Oh, Greenland webcams. Maybe this is it. No! Shetlands. Okay. But it's not. Ooh. Red eye? Is that 24-hour? I don't know what that means. Well, it's really pretty. Wish I could be in Scotland chasing the aurora borealis. That would be really cool. Okay, but if you are in Scotland, you probably got to see the aurora today. There's going to be some amazing aurora photography from this, y'all. Let's go back. I didn't even begin to touch finishing talking about space weather. So our new sunspot regions seem mighty productive on their own. No big proton increase, though we are a little bit above where we've been sitting. Yeah, major X-class flare today. Just like 50 minutes ago. Remember to drink extra water, do extra grounding and earthing and all that stuff. Let's see our coronal holes. Not really. Two. I can't do just two. Yeah, we got a moderate geomagnetic storm that's been going on all day. This has been a crazy day for whatever's going on in your life. Let's see. Let's look at our STO. Wow, look at that beautiful 3663. It's almost as beautiful, or it's just as beautiful as its notation, as its beautiful, beautiful notation. Oh, I want to see. Okay, give me zoom. Yeah, look at that. Oh, that is a beautiful little spot. Beautiful. That is, and it looks really bright on a lot of different AIA. Please work this time. Please work where you're composite. No? Okay. Okay, there's one big one. Few coming off of here. Okay, so I don't think that we've got imagery from the X-class flare pop yet, but let's watch this one. Look at all those sizzles and sparks. That's what this one's going to look like by the time it's all done. That is going off too. That one down there is 3664. Are they going to have to do a 3666? People would freak the fuck out if they named one 3666. Damn. We got that strong interplanetary magnetic field today. Okay. A coronal mass ejection impact has been detected at the Discover spacecraft. This is interesting. Solar wind speed hasn't increased much, but the strength of the interplanetary field has significantly increased to about 20 nanotesla, consistent with the southward component of about negative 17 nanotesla. Geomagnetic storm conditions up to the moderate G2 magnetic storm level are possible later today. Well, we got up to a KP index of 7. Let's see what our geomagnetic storms got up to. We're undergoing radio bursts for sure. And solar flare X. Oh, this was from 3663. Here's a picture of it. Beautiful. Incredible. X-class flare, gorgeous. Let's see if this is more recent. No. This is only to the 29th. That was yesterday. That only goes to yesterday. So this imagery will take a minute, but let's see if anybody's modeled anything yet. No, that was that big one yesterday. This was pretty Earth direct. If that came from 3663, whoo, buddy. Actually, let's go back to SDO. Let's look at this. Let's take a look at how this develops. Okay, this is the region that is developing that will soon give us these X-class flares. This X-class flare. Watch how it grows and spreads apart. And there's two different. Watch how it blooms from the center, like from below. You see, it's like two pillars of convection are both blooming really close to each other at the same time. And I'm sure are sparking up. Let's see it with. Do I have the one with the lines? Yeah, look at that. Very tight arcs on that, but very strong field strengths. And that was pretty dang forward to Earth. That was pretty darn Earth facing. It might go more north of us, but man, it'll really put a smack down on the ionosphere on the north side if it has even a glancing blow. That's going to be huge, man. That is going to be so huge. That is exciting. Well, let's go to the looking at our planetary weather to try to understand this. Let's see. I'm going to refresh this so we got a proper rising time on this. I started this broadcast in I tried to start it in a Jupiter day and a Jupiter hour. I think I did that successfully just by a minute. But we've been in a Jupiter day with a Mars hour for the past 45 minutes of it. About to be in a Sun hour. This has been a great Jupiter's day. Thor's day. This is Jupiter sextile Black Moon Lilith in Taurus. This is Jupiter conjunct my Sun for all of y'all out there who care. This is Moon in Pisces, Sun in Taurus, which I love. Moon in Pisces is sextile to Venus in Taurus, which is very happy there. A watery moon co-present with Saturn and Neptune might be kind of like harsh truths, bitter realities, or like sweet illusions becoming concrete, or really abstractifying pain into something that is condensable and digestible, going so subliminal that you can't feel pain, but like you have to go very painful to get the subliminal. Then we've also got this is kind of crowded. Mars in Aries at 1 degree, sextile to Pluto in Aquarius at 2 degrees. And this is one of the last aspects it'll make while it's direct right now. And we've also got Mercury conjoined Chiron in Aries. They are ever swiftly approaching their conjunction, which means we're probably going to voice the thing that is our biggest pain and our biggest gift in a minute. And Mars crossing that North Node eclipse point is going to be big as well. Let's see. I think that's where I want to leave it on this, because Taurus, Pisces, Aries stuff, very heavy. I'm very glad that we got a big energy boost in this concentration of planets, because this is honestly my favorite concentration of planets. Not only because I have big placements there, but because I don't know. Probably because I have big placements there, but because I really feel comfortable with this area of the world. I feel like this is going to be a great spoonful of sugar type of medicine wake up call for a lot of people. And also, you might have some of your biggest creative breakthroughs after long, long, long years of dedication. I feel like this has creative breakthrough written all over it. This stellium in Taurus. I'm very happy to have this Taurus stellium going on right now. Let's go now to, let's check on our weather again. All right, we got, so this one dry line system is one area where we're spawning a lot of precipitation, but there's, and the most dangerous types of precipitation, honestly, but there's also a little micro squall line moving through Mississippi. There's a kind of something trying to be in the shape of a mid-latitude cyclone up here. Chicago is definitely, there's a special marine warning out for the boats near Chicago, and definitely got a pretty good thunderstorm tonight. So did most of Michigan. Even some of these areas in the southern Appalachians, Lebanon, Virginia, Bristol, Virginia / Tennessee, even near Morristown, Jefferson City, getting some rain. I kind of want to see the single site radar for this. Okay, that's not that much. They're kind of trying to pop up on the side of the mountains that has lift, but they're not really getting over anything. But yeah, you see it's coming from this. Okay. Let's go back to, man, that looks nasty. It's very wishbone shaped now. Or shaped like an anatomically correct storm. What anatomy is that? Anatomically correct storm. Wishbone, I think, is what it is. Or digging balls. Or wow. This is powerful out here. It's just spinning itself up again. Entrainment City, we've got a lot of remnant instability in the air, and also the history of acting like strong tornado season, and all that moisture from so much rain. Again, this is traveling in the same direction that, well, for a while it was shaped like the direction it's traveling in. Parts of it are, but it's kind of getting decentralized. Now, Tulsa also not out of the woods. From, it's passing through Wagoner right now on the way to Tahlequah, just north of Muskogee. Let's see what our velocities look like. That might want to do something. This is the air mass moving through. Let's take a look at specific differential. Oh, wow. Yeah, I always... I think specific differential gives a good idea of what can spin itself up. And this looks like it is pretty well suited. 6 degrees per kilometer. That's pretty weird looking. I hope this doesn't continue to spin. Let's look at reflectivity again. I mean, it's got a hook shape. I don't know what the inflow looks like. Let's look at the shape of this as it comes in. Dancing, dancing. Okay. This might be running into the ground. We've just got a new severe thunderstorm warning for hail up to 2 inches and winds up to 70 miles per hour. So they're not warning for a potential tornado, so maybe I'm just looking for something. Cloud to ground lightning and large deadly hail is likely. Let's see what hail is registering as. Do I have hail on here? A hail's on the different one. Could be just a really strong front coming through. Really strong storm, not front, really. It's a big bean, though. Maybe not a very productive night for tornadoes tonight, and that is a good thing. That is a good thing. Let me see. How many warnings did we have today? Okay. We had mesoscale discussion today about this Central Texas outbreak. Splitting supercell thunderstorms have erupted across northwest Texas late this afternoon, being fueled by a warm, humid air mass transported north from the Gulf of Mexico. That air mass is currently characterized by extreme instability, PWATs of 1 to 1.3 inches, that's precipitable water, near the 90th percentile. That's near the 90th percentile of PWATs. That is a lot of water. an effective bulk shear of over 40 knots, of around 40 knots. Okay. As the dry line retreats west this evening, deep layer moisture flux convergence will rapidly diminish and convection may fairly rapidly dissipate. So they're waiting for the dry line to retreat in order for convection to dissipate. In the meantime, isolated to scattered instances of flash flooding are possible where over 2 inches amounts are locally able to accumulate. So looking at a nasty little mesoscale discussion. And we have a day one risk of moderate rainfall. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. We got a moderate risk of at least 40% or more chance of rainfall exceeding flash flood guidance within 25 miles of that point. That's a pretty good bet that we're going to have that much precipitation. Let's see. I wanted to see what active hazards we have. Storm Prediction Center is what I want. I always get them confused. Okay. We had 12 reported tornadoes today. 30 high wind reports, 45 hail reports. That's a pretty decent amount. A lot of the hail and high wind were from Illinois, and we had 1 tornado report on the border of Kansas and Missouri, and then all the other tornado reports have been here in Central Texas today. So we are really looking at these big severe thunderstorm watches, and we've got still a pretty good enhanced risk of convection tomorrow. There's going to be probably another outbreak of severe weather in the same area, just day after day after day. Yeah. God, looks like the tornado reports actually went up significantly in the last few hours. Man. Looking at nasty conditions all around. That's not even, oh man, I didn't even get to my news stories today. While there is unrelenting heat and water shortages, drought type experiences going on in Vietnam, there are also massive rainfall events going on in China. So there are 2 different countries right next to each other that are experiencing massive surpluses and shortfalls of precipitation, and it's affecting life and property and people and the ecosystem. Something is out of balance with this year's precipitation in particular, and I feel like really nowhere is safe. Not like you should be scared, but like, it's happening everywhere. When there's a drought somewhere, there's a flood somewhere else, and vice versa. We need to, if we just had like a little more of each mixed in, a little bit nuance, some diversity in the local ecosystems. Don't make them all one thing. Maybe things would work better. Flooding continues in South Texas, though. This is the drone footage of what has already happened in Texas, and we are currently experiencing way more rain again today. This is just a devastating look. Is this Kenya or Texas? I don't know. There, or China. This is all, it's happening all over the world. All over the world, there's crazy rainfall. Speaking of all over the world, let's take this. I turn on fire. Let's look at the hot spots. Now, these are thermal anomalies, hot spots, places that are too hot. It's pretty hot here. There's a big fire going on. Look at all these fires. It is possible to, these are also prescribed burns, areas where it's too hot. This random place. What is this random place? Spruce pine? Why is it too hot there? Random Kansas City, Junction City, too hot. Something in this satellite said it's just too hot there. But yeah, as we saw, okay, so we had an earthquake in Tanzania. We're about to have a tropical cyclone make landfall, and there's already been ongoing flooding. I mean, even in Kenya, how is it too hot? These are not fires. These are just places where it's hot, hot, hot. Tanzania is about to undergo all of it at once. Let's see. There is a fire here in Cambodia, which is not going to give me any more information, but 28,000 acres are involved. Yeah, there's also fire in the tundra. This is because it's too dang hot in a place that's usually permanently frosted. Really shiny up here, really green up there. Green clouds over Russia. Wonder what that's all about. But yeah, okay. Let's do detected precipitation as well, because it's not going to show. There we go. There we go. That is unfortunately coming for Tanzania and Kenya when they've already been dealing with floods. People in places in Indonesia and the Philippines are undergoing volcano evacuations. There's a lot of north to south transport in the South Pacific. There's tons of earthquakes in the South Sandwich Islands and a yin-yang kind of rotation forming out here. Yeah, but no biggie. If the weather's nice near you, drop a comment where you're from and where the weather's nice, because pretty wild everywhere. Let's see. Now I think I'm going to close this out. I'm just going to give one positive card. Okay. Anything I can imagine being, doing, or having, I can be, do, or have. This is a card that's got a person swimming on a green lake that's blue below with fishies way below them. It says, ask yourself why you want it. The essence of your desire is activated, and the universe begins to bring it to you. It's as easy to create a castle as a button. All right. I hope everyone out there learns that waves are real and everything is waves. And I'm very serious about that. All of it's weather, all the way up and down. It's all weather. That's what I hope everyone learns out of this. That's what the universe has for us. You can do whatever you want. Seriously, you can do it. All right. This has been another exciting episode of Today's Weather Tonight with Cloud Hudson, your meteorologist. Have a great evening. Bye. Bye. I love you.